I am Charles, spiritual director and companion on the journey. Good to be with you. I'm getting very close to finishing up a book right now, and I have several pages of great quotes that I just can't really find a place for in my book. I'm calling them orphans. And so I'm looking for a home for them. And well, I think I brought one to you today is to find a home with us in our conversation here. It's from one of my favorite poets, a guy by the name of Rumi from the 13th century. It goes like this. I once had 1,000 desires, but in my one desire to know you, all other desires have melted away. I like that. I once had 1,000 desires. I think that describes our journey through life. As we go through childhood and our teens and our early years, we want this, we want that, and kind of changes. But then I've noticed as I'm getting older, I'm less enthralled by all the things that the world says, oh, you need this, oh, you need that. I've been watching this in myself for quite a while now, and I'm just not as attracted to so many things. And now with cancer, I'm really narrowing down my 1,000 desires to not much. My family and friends and relationships, wherever I connect with people, very, very important. My writing and my cello and my time with God. It used to bother me a little bit that things other people were talking about, what I see in the advertising, I just, who cares? I'd think to myself. I was wondering if there was something wrong with me. But Rumi's quote helps me realize, no, this is probably a good place in the journey. I once had 1,000 desires, but in my one desire to know you, all other desires have melted away. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm not sinking into depression. I'm moving into that space where everything is coming together in my desire to know God. It's nice to know I'm normal. I'm on the right path. This moving from 1,000 desires to one desire helps me map out my life. It's good for me to begin my day with my walk in the woods. All the things that are kind of floating around, do this, think about that. What about this other thing? Oh yes, I know they're there and some need my attention. But as I get to the end of my walk, I bring it down to just one desire, to grow closer to God. My one desire to know God. Around noon, I sort of evaluate, well, how have I been doing? Have I been following the siren call to some other desire, or I've been kind of staying focused and keeping the Lord close to my heart. And many times I have to reel myself back in. But in the evening, when I'm sort of running out of gas, I'm getting a little bit tired, and sometimes in the fall and winter when it gets dark, I notice that I'm sort of a little lonely, a little empty. And it's that when the 1,000 desires, well, maybe you should be pursuing this, pursuing that. I have to remind myself to go back to this. I had once 1,000 desires, but now in my one desire to know you, all other desires melted away. It's in the evening especially that I need to go back to that one desire. I find myself selecting things that help me just sit on the bench with the Lord and just be present and chat a little bit about the day, but most importantly, to rest in the Lord. Well, I hope that this quote finds a home in your heart. It's a bit of an orphaned quote for me right now, in my book writing anyway. But for you also to think about your journey with desires, and maybe with Rumi, you also admit, I once had 1,000 desires, but in my one desire to know you, all other desires have melted away. Nothing wrong with this. In fact, it's the spiritual journey of maturity, and then to put a heart in this place morning, noon, and night. My one desire, to know you, O Lord. Well, blessings on the journey. Good visit with you today.